So Panda's all prepped with its new wing mirror on, all ready for pickup. It's come out really nice and clean, but I've just been down and paid the bill at Moore's. Righto, so put your guesses down below on what a, what was it, 70,000 miles, something like that, Panda I think it was, on a 2014 cost to get fully retail ready. It was a good driving car, remember, but we just wanted to get things done proper, like I say, no advisories on the MOT, and we thought that it was probably due a second cam belt because of its age. So yeah, get your guesses down below. Probably not a big enough gap for some of you to have your guesses, but we'll go through it. We've got some other ones here to go through as well. I'm going to go through some of my warranty claims from this month as well. And the reason that I will go through what we paid to get this one ready is to pre-frame all the idiots to say I should send my cars out properly in the first place, and show just how much prep we do, and how even with that level of prep, if you're selling 10-year-old cars with, you know, 70 to 100,000 miles on, how after someone's driven it around for a couple of months, things can flag up. And it's not a case of whether a car should ever have developed a fault or not. It's what I do when it happens. Anyway, bill for the Panda. It is a whopping £969.40. They removed the front bumper and renewed the offside and near side lower suspension arms. So that is the arms that go on the bottom there that have the rubbers in. They presumably had too much play in them, so the guys have put new ones on. They renewed the offside front and near side front shock absorbers and put strut top mounts on. Now I think when I got the car, I think I mentioned I was hearing a little bit of play in the top mounts. So they obviously decided to do the struts as well. So they've done the lower arms, the struts and the top mount. So pretty much, I think bar some drop links, the entire front suspension there. They serviced the rear brakes. They wax-soled the front and rear subframes because they were getting surface rust on them. And they renewed, freed off near side, offside track rod ends and set the wheel alignment. So they needed to, the track rod ends were stiff, so they had to free those off and then set the tracking. And then they have done the timing belt, the tensioners, renewed the coolant. I imagine there's oil and filters in there as well. So we've got, I don't know what the prep kit is, antifreeze, oil and filter. So they've done the oil and filter as well. Sump plug. Suspension arms, £65 each. Mount kits, £47 each. Shock absorbers, £59 each. Wax oil, £17. Then we've got labour of £310. And total bill of £969.40. I will be able to reclaim £154 in VAT. So my next net cost is about 820 odd pounds. So, yeah, not a cheap car to prep. But like I say, I wanted to pre-frame one. Again, why I don't give discounts as well? Why when I set my price at the Auto Trader recommended, I do that level of work, I don't see why I should discount. And secondly, that we do this level of prep, and you can still get issues once somebody actually starts using the car on a daily basis. So, start to go through some of the warranty claims. I'll try and be smart and put a bit of effort in and interject images of the cars, if I have them, to show you what work was done on it. That's some parts. What are we doing here? We've got some bills to pay for. Right, first up is the little Fiesta diesel we bought off a subscriber. Went out to the customer. She's been happy as Larry with it, but about a month and a bit into having the car, I think she started having an intermittent failure with the car starting on the key. So they had to renew the brake and the clutch switches and reset the ECU. So I do remember thinking about it now that you had to have your foot on the brake and the clutch to start the car. I didn't know that wasn't how it's supposed to be. I thought perhaps you were just supposed to have it on the clutch, but I do remember you wanted your foot on the brake and the clutch to start. So we replaced the switches. That's all that there. And labour-wise was £75, so total bill was £138.60. So again, this is why I say you don't know what profit you're making on these cars until the warranty period is expired. You might look like you've gone out of the car and you've made £1,000 on the car, but it might end up you only make £500 at the end of sort of a 6-month period. What other warranty claims we got on to go? That's the only receipt I've got one for at the moment. We had a bit of a biggie. The customer thought it was going to be biggie. I didn't think it was horrendous. It's still more than obviously I'd like to spend, but we have the Renault Twingo RS, which I'll put an image in now. Now, if you remember, that to one of our viewers that lives quite a way away from me. I forget exactly how far away, but quite a long way away from me. And first up, he had an issue after a week or so of driving, I think, where the car cut out on him and wouldn't restart. And it turned out that, what was it that turned out? Something. Oh yeah, the fuel rail line had popped off. Luckily, that just needed pushing back on again. May well have happened in prep, unfortunately, because we did do a cam belt on that one, so I don't know if that needs to be removed as part of the process, but it just needed seating properly, and that was fine. So we thought, oh, good to go. He was happy because it was a quick fix. But then he rang me up the other day and said he was having a problem with the car's performance. I think it was a little while ago, a couple of weeks ago now, but I hadn't filled you in on it. I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it was having throttle issues, the car not wanting to run right. So he took it down to his local garage. He rang me up and he said, can I have my guy have a look at it and find out what the issue is? Now, beforehand, he had actually changed the coil packs. I think he changed the coil packs and possibly spark plugs as well in an attempt to track down what the issue was. Fair play to him. As I said in the previous video, the guy was the right guy to sell this car to because the Renault Twingo too, because it's an older car. It may well need work along the way, and he did understand that. Now, obviously, coil packs and spark plugs are kind of serviceable items, and it turned out that they didn't actually fix the problem anyway, so they weren't actually what was needed, but it probably was beneficial getting those put in the car, and I think that's the way he saw it as well, that, it was probably beneficial to the running the car to have those anyway, but obviously didn't fix the problem, so I wanted his garage to have a look. So then he rang me up and said, James, you're not going to like it, it's going to be expensive, and I was like, I prepared myself, sat down, prepared myself. He said, he was literally within the last week of the 3 months warranty that I provided on the car. He said the guy at the garage reckons it's the throttle body and you can only get them direct from Renault. So I was like, oh, I'm ready for this, ready for a big bill. And it turned out that actually the throttle body from Renault wasn't too bad. I think it was £280 for a genuine one. I think something like that, £280, £300, which obviously, on the kind of margins you work on in these cars, where if you get a good car at the door, you're making £1,000, but you might only average about 700. That's quite a chunk of the profits. But my biggest concern was that it wasn't my garage doing the work; it was some further afield garage, and that always makes you worry that you're going to get done over. But I said, look, go ahead, get the work done. It was too far to bring it back up. Get the work done. This is one of the cars that I warranted myself. I didn't use warranty-wise. I had my own warranty on it. So I hadn't paid them about £150 in warranty costs. At least that contributes towards the repair. So I said, get your garage to do the work and then just get him to give me a ring and I'll pay the bill up over the phone. But like I said, there was that concern that this garage might have got it wrong, in which case I'll be down the throttle body, or they might charge a silly amount of money. Turns out the garage he used was bang on. I don't think they charged me more than an hour. I really don't think, it might have been less than that. It might have only charged me half an hour for fitting it. And it seems to have fixed the problem. So, brilliant. Again, it's all about working with your customers. He's approached it with the right attitude. We worked together on it, got it sorted, and he's a happy bunny. But bless him, thinking that I think he thought I might sort of bulk at that. But, he bought off me for a reason, so he knew I'd help him out if there was problems. And I want to make life easy for him. I wasn't going to force him to bring the car back on. And he had, and again, when people have the right attitude, you're more inclined to work with them, aren't you? So, bless, he was worried that I was, that was a big amount of money for me to spend out, which obviously, like I say, it is not ideal, but could have been a lot worse, couldn't it? Warranty claim number 3, I think it is, on to in this month, was the Ford Focus I sent out about a month ago to a lady. She part exchanged the Jaguar XF. You remember the white Jaguar XF that my mate for Ferrari bought off me to retail himself? Well, that lady rang me and she said she's having a problem. And she was having a problem with it flashing up ESP, ABS and something else, I think. And she was really worried about it. I said, look, the reality is it's probably that you've just driven through, it's been absolutely pouring with rain. I've seen ABS sensors flag up when you drive through a big puddle and they get wet. Sometimes they reset, when the car's dried out, sometimes they don't. I said, go and get your local garage to check it out. They plugged it in and reckoned it was an ABS sensor. I said, look, I'm happy for you to get the work done down there. I think she was down Tavistock Way. I'm happy for you to get the work done down there. But she said she trusted our garage more. Well, she just wanted to use our garage. I think there was a concern perhaps if there was a warranty bill to be paid out that the garage might not want to do the work, because a lot of garages don't want to work with warranties, do they? Because they're worried not going to get paid. So she said rather bring it back to Moore's. Moore's butchering gave her a loan car. I've just spoken to them. They do think it is the ABS sensor. They're pretty sure it is. They've replaced it and they're just going to take it for a few test drives to make sure that it is good to go before they bring it all the way back up here. Make sure it's all good. So that will be a cost. I don't know what the cost of that will be, but obviously that's a cost out of the margin on that car as well. Oh, and unfortunately our last one is the raffle car we sent out, which is the little Vauxhall Adam. Now, obviously that is a prize as part of the raffle. So it's not like a retail sale where you warranty it. Obviously the person only paid £2 for the car effectively or whatever, but I do send them out with warranty wise cover, and obviously the last thing I want is someone to get a prize and not be able to use it. So I don't think they drove it for about a week, because from what I think from the message, they didn't drive it for about a week, but when they did take it out for a drive, it popped out with an engine management light. Now I suspect that's going to be relating to emissions, because that car's been sat around for quite a while. Obviously when the car goes up as a raffle prize, I'll stop using it, so it will sit around for a month and a half. I did charge the battery up before it went out because that was getting flat from sitting around, but we did drive the car around quite a bit before and got the MOT done on a service done on it, and it was always absolutely bang on. So I can't think for a minute that I should touch wood while I say it is anything too serious, because it was too good a little runner, and it's more likely to me to be either battery related or oxygen sensor related, something like that, from sitting around. So we'll have to update you on that one. But yeah, so like I say, this is like I said with the Fiat Panda, you can do all the work in the world on these cars before they go out, but they've got thousands of components on them. They are old, as I've said many times before. Your manufacturers might warranty a car for 5 years maximum. After that, they won't do anything for you. We're selling cars double that period of time and double and triple the kind of mileage that they would cover. So they would consider these vehicles, end of life. It's not the car itself is end of life, but the components, like most of the components on a 10-year-old car, are going to need replacing. So it's not a case of if it's going to happen, it's a case of when it's going to happen. So even with the level of prep we've done on that, and you've seen many other cars and we spend similar amounts of money on it, it could be that this goes out and in a month's time, like I say, something like an oxygen sensor dies, or a bit of rear suspension goes, or something like that. You just don't know, can you? All you can do is give it to the mechanics and say, go for it, and tell me everything it needs doing and get it done. But as I say time and time again, when you look at the kind of margins dealers are making, don't assume that it's all going in their pocket when they go and put your car up at £1,500 more on the forecourt, or even £2,000 more on the forecourt than you part exchanged it for. There's a lot of little niggles and things to do, some servicing items you might not have done that need to be done. There's a lot that needs to be done to make sure that car is retail ready, the paint, that kind of thing. But even if they end up having to do very little to prep it, they're on the hook for bills for, well, theoretically anywhere up to 5 years you can be. And if you're sending out 15 to 20 cars a month and you're getting a couple of warranty claims a month from, say, 2 or 3 months before, I think actually that's a really low percentage, especially if you compare someone that's maybe doing 5-year-old cars with under 50,000 miles on to someone doing 10-year-old cars, or even older than that, someone 14 years old with 100 or 100,000 plus miles on them. I don't think that's bad going, to be honest. Now for my declined warranty claim of the month, and that was for a battery, and that was for a car that went out 9 months ago. The customer messaged and asked if I ever changed the battery as part of the process, because now the car won't start, and having to jump start it. So obviously that one you decline because it's 9 months on. Didn't totally not help them at all, because what I did do is I actually got them the battery at trade price from my suppliers. I told them that if they popped in, I've let them know that they'll be coming in. I got them the trade price on it, and then I'm invoicing them for the battery at cost. So I have helped them out, but I haven't given them a free battery on a car that's been out for 9 months. Now don't forget the raffle for the 2014 Mini Cooper S Roadster Convertible, is that the full title, is now up and running at £2 per ticket. You can win this 47,000 mile Mini Cooper S with the soft top and the pop-up rear spoiler. It really is in fantastic condition, guys. The subscriber who just came along to get the Suzuki Swift with his daughter was pretty smitten as soon as he saw it in here and saw the kind of condition it's in. He was all keen to get some tickets bought up. No, really nice car. We'll be coming out with a brand new advisory free MOT, and we'll also come out with a 6-month national warranty via Warranty Wise. It's, like I say, yes, a really nice little car, and you will be helping support Canine Focus. I'll try and put a little logo up somewhere. Canine Focus, maybe I put more clips of my dog running around because people seem to like that. A dog that we rescued via Canine Focus. So yeah, when you buy tickets, you'll be supporting Canine Focus, which is the charity of choice for this raffle. I will put a link in the video description down below.